to start things off early stages, Taj Burrow. He was a guy that's always dangerous to lose in the second round, especially to wild cards in his career. But a layback jam like that, you can't argue with that progression, and easily took the win here. Couldn't really find a backup, what kind of made it interesting towards the tail end, but looked lightning sharp.
He did, yeah. Gustavo Fernandez came after him towards the end of the heat, but TB had done enough to hold him out. Then it was straight into the second heat of round 2. Josh Kerr up against Matthias Felix, and Kersey launched this thing, and at that point, most people thought that the heat was probably over.
Oh, amazing rotation, threw that big turn down for the 9.77. Big expectations always for Kersey whenever you have sections like this heading his way. Always down to throw down something massive. Never holds back. He'll go for it right away when he sees that ramp he likes, and he's off to round 3 without a problem. But also got another gem right after this run.
Yeah, he did. He backed it up beautifully. Josh Kerr now with the second highest combined heat score of the event so far, just behind Gabriel Medina on 17.94.
This was a big matchup we were really looking forward to. Julian Wilson taking on Jack Freestone as a Billabong wild card. It was really all Julian in this heat, and Jack didn't really get the wheels turning.
No, a bit of a fizzer as far as living up to the expectation, but we did expect Julian to come out and put on a really strong, composed performance. It's exactly what he did. Just really good, simple surfing. Got the job done.
5.73 ended up being a keeper there for Julian Wilson as he eliminated Jack. Moved on to the next one. Jeremy Flores had the wild card, Ricardo dos Santos, who's fresh off the boat from Tahiti.
Yeah, Ricardo doing the dash over to Tahiti to pounce on that big swell, but Jeremy Flores, just another veteran surfer, just putting it to one of the wild cards here, and didn't he do a good job of it?
Right here, ended up getting a 7. This was really sealed the deal. He's surfed the left here at Baja da Tijuca for a few years now, and he's always able to throw some different combos and some nice variety to move on to the next one. He's selling GT. He's like, I'm just taking that as a win. Didn't really like a lot of the waves he rode, but he'll move on to the next one.
Michel Perez and Yaden Nickel had a fantastic heat 5. Wasn't spectacular to watch, but I'll tell you what, it was really close, and the boys were scrapping for scores in the final stages.
Yeah, just a couple of 2s and 3s, but this is the one that really opened it up for the last couple of minutes. Michel Perez got a 6.33 for that one major hack, and then we moved on to CJ versus Dusty Payne.
I thought CJ made a lot of sense of the really tricky conditions out there today. He just put his manoeuvres together beautifully, managed to surf with a lot of flow considering there was very limited options out there.
Had a 6.5 on the left, then gets a 6.0 here on his back end, jammed it. Super cool hook. Perfect transition, even with the inside section taking him out the panel. Still love that first turn. Then we moved on to Ace Buchan taking on Rioni Montero.
Yeah, one of the really interesting heats of the day as far as the scoring goes. Ace got himself a 9, and we'll see the wave in just a moment. One of the best barreling sections of the day. Didn't get particularly deep though, so definitely a lot of talk about this ride in the competitors area as this heat unfolded.
Here it is, big square opening at the end. He's able to come out for the finish. Clean timing for Ace as we got the 9.0 for that score. We'll get this angle out. You can see what Ron's talking about. He's trying to stall right there. Not super deep, but a big meaty section, and able to close that one out in a big way. So Ace eliminating one of the favorite Brazilians, Rioni Montero, as we moved on into heat number 8. Kai Otten taking on Adam Melling here.
Another nail biter that went right down to the wire. In fact, both surfers were in the competitors area waiting for scores to drop in the final stages. Kai Otten, though, he got the early lead from Adam Melling and was able to just hold him off.
0.04 is what the tally ended up being for Kai, getting the nod over Melling. Clean surfing here on his back end, and this 5.57 was just enough to what he needed to take this win. Moving on to round 3. The wave behind it, though, was Melling. Got a decent score, but the judges kept him just under for getting the switch into round 3.
Yeah, I think there was less than a tenth of a point in it, and Adam Melling is out of the contest. Unfortunately for him, big result for Kai Otten, and he moves on through to round 3.
So big one there. Coming up after that was Damien Hobgood, who packed this barrel, got a good score, had a couple of 7s. That was a 7.67 there, and Brett Simpson was on the ropes until the dying stages of this heat.
Yeah, Simpo just, maintaining some composure, and he was, needing a decent result, Brett Simpson, so fighting back and never giving up. And as a result, he sees himself through to round number 3.
Yeah, that wave got him back in contention, the 7.33 there. But looks like Damien just had control. He had rhythm, got a 7.37. for this wave, connecting the dots all the way through. So he had the momentum, never gave up his lead, but then left the door open for Brett getting this wave, a 7.77 for this ride.
Yeah, and you can tell that Brett was really psyched when he stomped this float, and just celebrating there with a bit of a claim, and it was just enough to push him ahead of Damien.
So there goes Brett into round 3. The next heat, things were getting pretty rainy and wild out the back. Travis Logie took on Kieran Perot.
Yeah, he did, and he managed a couple of 5-point rides. Kieran Perot was only needing a 4.67 for a majority of the second half of the heat, and he had a couple of cracks at it, but just kept falling on his second manoeuvres, and as a result, Trav Logie moved on through.
So a couple of mid-rangers. This last wave for Travis, a 5.73, able to finish on the inside section. Crucial, not getting a 25th result. He's on to the next one as we check out Heat 11, all Brazilian battle here.
Yep, another one where the surfers were trading off average scores throughout the heat, and really no one put the nail in the coffin. Alejo got the lead towards the final stages with this ride, but Miguel, he's a talented surfer, and he fought his way back into the #1 spot.
Good comeback result for Miguel Pupo after the injury. This wave for Alejo came in at a 5.5, which kept things really exciting. This one for Miguel, weightless on the float. He's able to stab it nice and vert on the inside. 6.27 was crucial for him to get the lead on the final exchange, which leads us to the last heat of the day.
Something has happened with the conditions out there. It might have been the tide. Matt Wilkinson, he went to the outer bank, and he left Philippe Toledo on the inside, and it was a pretty dangerous move, because we know that Philippe can turn one section into a huge score, and it's exactly what he did here.
8.77 for Felipe Toledo from Ubatuba, and pretty excited with that performance. He surfed these waves all the time, and he's going to be dangerous in round 3. That does it for the daily highlights in round 2.